Justin Bieber was once the world's biggest teenage pop star. Young, happy, and living out his dream in front of millions. But behind the fame, there may have been something much darker going on. In 2009, when Justin was just 15, he was filmed spending time alone with Sean Combs aka P Diddy. In one clip, Diddy claims he had legal guardianship of Justin for 48 hours. The footage shows them shopping, talking about girls, and being out late. At the time, most people saw it as harmless. But with what we now know about Diddy, that moment looks very different. In recent years, Diddy has faced serious allegations, including abuse, drugging, and trafficking. He's now been found guilty on one of those charges. And people are starting to connect the dots between his behavior and how it may have affected the young artists around him, including Justin. This video breaks down what really happened during those early years, why Justin's mental health took a turn, and how his time with Diddy and others may have left lasting damage. We'll look at the footage, the legal cases, and the signs many missed. The question now is, was Justin Bieber just another kid caught in the system, or was there something much worse going on behind closed doors? Justin Bieber's journey started in a small town in Canada, where he grew up with a single mom and posted raw singing videos on YouTube at just 12 years old. His natural talent caught the attention of manager Scooter Braun, who quickly flew him to the US and introduced him to major labels. Soon after, Usher joined in to co-sign and mentor him, and by 15, Justin was signed, styled, and launched into superstardom. His first hit, Baby, broke YouTube records, and with a clean image, charm, and boy next door appeal, Justin became a global teen idol almost overnight. But behind the scenes, Justin's life was anything but normal. As his fame skyrocketed, more influential people began entering Justin's orbit. But one name stands out more than most: P Diddy. At the time, Diddy's involvement looked like just another celebrity mentorship. But looking back now, especially in light of the serious allegations against him, that connection may have been far more complicated and potentially dangerous. In 2009, when Justin was just 15 and at the peak of his early fame, a video surfaced that, at the time, seemed like a harmless celebrity moment. In it, P Diddy, then in his 40s, jokingly claims he has legal guardianship over Justin for 48 hours.
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives.
He talks about taking the teen shopping and helping him navigate fame. They're seen in hotel rooms, in stores, and out late at night. Justin, noticeably quieter than usual, follows along with a nervous smile. Most viewers brushed it off as mentorship, but now that same footage is raising serious red flags. Diddy is facing multiple serious allegations, including abuse, coercion, and trafficking, some of which span decades. Testimonies describe manipulation, secret recordings, and disturbing parties involving young people and celebrities. Suddenly, that 48-hour guardianship over a teenage pop star doesn't look innocent. In one clip, Diddy even jokes that Justin knows too much and should stay quiet.
We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream.
It's the kind of comment that barely registered back then, but today feels deeply unsettling. And while there's no public accusation from Justin, the resurfacing of these clips, combined with what we now know about Diddy, raises one uncomfortable question. Was Justin Bieber simply caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, or was something more serious happening behind closed doors? What makes those old clips of Diddy and Justin so alarming today is everything that's come out about Diddy in the past few years. Starting in late 2023, a series of lawsuits and public allegations revealed a side of the music mogul the public hadn't seen. His former partner, Cassie, filed a lawsuit accusing him of years of abuse, drugging, coercion, and being forced into disturbing sexual situations. That opened the floodgates. Dozens of others, models, assistants, musicians, began to come forward, telling similar stories of control, fear, and trauma. The accounts described a deeply troubling pattern. Diddy allegedly used his wealth and power to manipulate young women, recording them without consent, drugging them, and flying them across the country for sex. Multiple accusers described private parties where sex acts were allegedly demanded, often under the influence of drugs or threats. In 2025, after a high-profile federal investigation, Diddy was found guilty of transporting women across state lines for purposes of prostitution. Although he was acquitted of more serious charges like sex trafficking and racketeering, the court testimonies were graphic and disturbing. The entertainment industry was shaken. Longtime collaborators distanced themselves, sponsorships were pulled, and public opinion flipped almost overnight. Suddenly, his past behavior wasn't just controversial, it was criminal. And with that shift, old videos of Diddy around young stars like Usher, Justin Bieber, and others began to take on a much more sinister tone. What once seemed like mentorship now looked like something else entirely: grooming, manipulation, or worse. Usher has long been seen as a key figure in Justin Bieber's rise. As co-mentor and co-signer, his influence helped Justin break into the mainstream. Their relationship was positioned as big brother, little brother, one season star guiding the next. But Usher's connection to Diddy complicates the story. Years earlier, as a young teen himself, Usher lived with Diddy in what's been described as a bizarre, unfiltered crash course in celebrity life, something Diddy once jokingly called Puffy Flavor Camp. In interviews over the years, Usher admitted that during his time with Diddy he witnessed things no teenager should see: wild parties, adult behavior, and an environment he later said he wouldn't want his own children around. While he's never publicly accused Diddy of wrongdoing, his words strongly suggest that he was exposed to the chaotic and hypersexualized side of Diddy's world early on. Which brings up an uncomfortable question. If Usher knew what that environment was like, why did he allow Justin, just 15 at the time? To be clear, Justin Bieber has never publicly accused P Diddy of any wrongdoing. There is no official statement or legal claim linking Bieber to the abuse allegations surrounding Diddy. His team has denied any such connection. But in cases like this, silence doesn't always equal safety. Just because someone hasn't spoken doesn't mean nothing happened. And when you consider the environment Justin was exposed to during his most formative years, the question becomes harder to ignore. Over time, Bieber appeared to distance himself from Diddy. Meanwhile, insiders have said Bieber was emotionally disturbed by the allegations that emerged in later years, choosing to remain publicly silent but privately shaken. Even if nothing specific happened, Bieber was undeniably present during years when Diddy's now alleged behaviors were actively taking place. He was a teenager in rooms full of power, wealth, and secrets. What happened to Justin Bieber isn't an isolated case. It fits a disturbing pattern that runs deep in the entertainment industry. Time and again, young stars are plucked from obscurity, placed under extreme pressure, and surrounded by powerful adults who don't always have their best interests in mind. Justin Bieber's connection to Diddy doesn't prove abuse, but it highlights how easy it is for young artists to end up in dangerous spaces, even when they're surrounded by supposed mentors and guardians. It forces us to rethink how we treat fame, and how the industry treats the children it profits from. Because if someone as famous and beloved as Justin could be broken down like this, it means no one is truly safe in that system. As Sean Diddy Combs awaits sentencing and more disturbing stories continue to emerge, we're left with a larger reckoning, not just about one man's actions but about the culture that enabled them. The music industry, like many others, has long hidden its darkest truths behind success, glamour, and power. And while some victims have bravely come forward, others, like Justin Bieber, have remained silent. So the final question we're left with is this: when Justin Bieber was a kid surrounded by cameras, contracts, and powerful men, who was protecting him when no one was watching? Because the scars he carries now suggest that somewhere along the way the system failed him. And it's still failing others. Like this video if you found it informative, and subscribe to get the latest updates about the case of P Diddy and Justin Bieber.